I am recording. I am sorry for those of you who are gonna um, listen to this on YouTube. I have my window open, and so you might hear a lot of car noises, a lot of obnoxious car noises. Oh, and that also goes for you too, babe, because yeah, I have the window open because it's hot. It is hot. Okay. So, also, my cat's being really cute. Like, fucking, I really didn't want to put him. I really didn't want him to be on my new blanket. But fucking, I caught him and he was already laying down, so I didn't want to risk getting bit. And like, he just seems to really like my blanket, like a lot. And I'm just like, oh yeah, you just saw it. Is it like I posted on Facebook too, and I'm just like, man, you are being really cute, mister. And you really like my blanket. Like, I feel like I've never seen that expression on his face before. I probably have, but like, I think since the blanket is like new material. Oh well, for those that are not, I feel obliged to give you a picture. So let me give you a picture of my cat. I need to choose the best one though. This one is the best one. Can you see my face in it? It's sort of. But that's, look at him. He's so cute. So cute. Yeah, whatever. Yes, my cat likes you. And that's rare because he's scared of everyone. Yeah, I know. Whatever. Get over yourself, Chandler. Get fucking over yourself. Yes, he does like you a lot. Maybe he smells your scent and he's just like, oh, my beloved Chandler. Okay. Alright. So, last we left off were, um, Jerusalem was destroyed and, what was it? The bad people. Uh, there's so many people to remember in here, and it's just like, why do I have to remember so many people? Like, if this was like a storybook that like took their time, well, probably the Bible. But like, I don't know, it's just like this person and this person and this person and this person, like they expect kids to remember, you know, all the names in this book. I only remember the big ones, and that's it. All right, but last we left off, Jerusalem was destroyed, and um, the not the Hebrews, the not the Jehovah Witnesses, the Jews were oh well, the Israelites, I should say. The Israelites were taken prisoners to Babylon. Yeah. Okay. So now we're on to part 5. Part 5 is Captivity in Babylon to rebuilding of Jerusalem's walls. So it says, while in captivity in Babylon, the Israelites had many tests to their faith. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego were thrown into a fiery hot furnace, but God brought them out alive. Later, after Babylon was defeated by the Medes or the Medes, I feel like it's the Medes, but I'm not sure. Let me see. Not memes. Medes. Yeah, Mede. Alright, there we go. Later, after Babylon was defeated by the Medes and the Persians, Daniel was pitched into a lion's pit, but God also protected him by shutting the mouths of the lions. Finally, the Persian king Cyrus freed the Israelites. Way to go, Cyrus. Good on you. They returned to the homeland just 70 years after they were taken away to Babylon. That's a long time. As yeah, they were. Sorry. Getting all sleepy again. And I needed a break from Animal Crossing because, like, I could still do stuff. It's just like, at a point, you just gotta stop. Because all you're gonna try and do is get Nook Miles, and to get Nook Miles, you have to fish and stuff. And I just wanna keep on going. Like, it's really hard not to time travel. Well, it's easy not to time. For some people, it might be easy. Some people, it might be hard. I'm just like, I don't mind waiting, but like, it's like I have to wake up tomorrow. It can't be like, oh, it's gonna turn midnight and then, it's tomorrow and then the new thing's gonna come out. No, you have to wait until daylight, and it's just like, come on. That's why people time travel, but not time traveling, it gives you plenty of things to do, and then you can also design your own things, and it's fun, which I'm gonna do after this reading. I'm designing a flower kimono, which is turning out okay. Anyway. Man, 7 minutes in and I'm still blabbing. I'm blathers. Also, the museum's gonna be done tomorrow. Cause I donated so many stuff. Alright. Soundtrack. Finally, the Persian king Cyrus freed the Israelites. They returned to the homeland just 70 years after they were taken away to Babylon as captives. One of the first things they did when they returned to Jerusalem was to begin building Jehovah's temple. However, enemies soon stopped their work. So it was about 22 years after returning to Jerusalem that they finally finished the temple. Wow. That's a long time. Next, we learn about Ursa's trip back to Jerusalem to beautify the temple. This was some 47 years after the temple was finished. Then, 13 years after Ursa's trip, Nehemiah, helped to rebuild Jerusalem's broken down walls. Part 5 covers 152 years of history down to this time. All right. So, we're on to chapter 77. So, we're almost done with this book. Thank God. All right. I didn't really think it was going to be that long of a read, but it is. Which is okay. I'm used to long books like this. Alright, so chapter 77. They would not bow down. Do you remember hearing about these three young men? Yes, they are the friends of Daniel who refused to eat what was not good for them. The Babylonians called them Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Abednego. But look at them now. Why aren't they bowing down to this huge image like everyone else? Let's find out. Do you remember the laws that Jehovah himself wrote called the Ten Commandments? The first one of these is, "You must not worship any other gods except me." The young men here are obeying this law, even though it is not an easy thing to do. Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon, has called many important people to honor this image that he has set up. He just finished saying to all the people, "When you hear the sound of the horns, the harps, and the other musical instruments, you are to bow down and worship this gold image. Anyone who does not bow down and worship will be thrown into a burning hot furnace right away." When Nebuchadnezzar learns that Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego have not bowed down, he is very angry. He has them brought to him. He gives them another chance to bow down, but the young men trust in Jehovah. "Our God whom we serve is able to save us," they tell Nebuchadnezzar. "But even if he does not save us, we will not bow down to your image of gold." At hearing this, Nebuchadnezzar is even more angry. There is a furnace nearby, and he commands, "Heat the furnace 7 times hotter than it was before." Then, when he has the strongest men in his army, tie up Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, and throw them into the furnace. The furnace is so hot that the strong men are killed by the flames. But what about the 3 young men whom they threw in? The king looks at this furnace and becomes very much afraid. "Didn't we tie up 3 men and throw them into the burning hot furnace?" he asks. "Yes, we did," his servants answer. "But I see 4 men walking around in the fire," he says. "They are not tied up, and the fire is not hurting them, and the 4th one looks like a god." The king goes closer to the door of the furnace and cries out, "Shadrach, Meshach, Abednego, come on out. Come on out, you servants of the Most High God." When they come out, everyone can see that they have not been hurt. Then the king says, "Let the God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego be praised. He has sent his angel and saved them, because they would not bow down and worship any god except their own." Isn't this a fine example of faithfulness to Jehovah for us to follow? I'm not sure, man. Free will. Free will. Alright, chapter 78. Handwriting on the wall. What is happening here? The people are having a big feast. The king of Babylon has invited 1,000 important guests. They are using the gold cups and the silver cups and the bowls taken from Jehovah's temple in Jerusalem. But suddenly, the fingers of a man's hand appear in the air and begin to write on the wall. Everyone is scared. Belshazzar, the grandson of Nebuchadnezzar, is the king now. He shouts for his wise men to be brought in. Anyone who can read this writing and tell me what it means, the king says, will be given many gifts and be made the 3rd most important ruler in the kingdom. But none of the wise men can read the writing on the wall, nor tell its meaning. The king's mother hears the noise and comes into the big dining room. "Please don't be frightened," she tells the king. "There's a man in your kingdom who knows the holy gods. When your grandfather Nebuchadnezzar was king, he made him Okay, I just want to make sure because I'm like moving away from the mic. All right. When your grandfather Nebuchadnezzar was king, he made him the chief of all his wise men. His name is Daniel. There we go. His name is Daniel. Oh, that's a little too. There we go. Yeah, his name is Daniel. Send for him, and he will tell you what all of this means. So right away, Daniel is brought in. After refusing to take any gifts, Daniel begins to tell why Jehovah once removed Belshazzar's grandfather Nebuchadnezzar from being king. Wait, what? I wasn't paying attention. So right away, Daniel is brought in. After refusing to take any gifts, Daniel begins to tell why Jehovah once removed Belshazzar's grandfather Nebuchadnezzar from being king. He was very proud, Daniel says, and Jehovah punished him. But you, Daniel tells Belshazzar, knew all about what happened to him, and still you are proud just as Nebuchadnezzar was. You have brought the cups and the bowls from Jehovah's temple and drunk out of them. You have praised gods made of wood and stone, and you have not honored our grand Creator. That is why God had sent the hand to write these words. And this is what is written. Daniel says, Mene, Mene, Tekel, and Parsin. Mene means that God has numbered the days of your kingdom and brought it to an end. Tekel means that you have been weighed on the scale and found to be no good. Parsin. Parsin means that your kingdom is given to the Medes and the Persians. Even while Daniel is speaking, the Medes and the Persians have begun to attack Babylon. They capture the city and kill Belshazzar. The handwriting on the wall comes true. The handwriting on the wall comes true that very night. But what will happen to the Israelites now? We will soon find out. But first, let's see what happens to Daniel. Daniel in the lion's pit. Oh yeah, chapter 79. Daniel in the lion's pit. Uh-oh. It looks as if Daniel is in a lot of trouble, but the lions are not hurting him. Do you know why? Who put Daniel in here with all these lions? Let's find out. The king of Babylon is now a man named Darius. He likes Daniel very much because Daniel is so kind and wise. Darius chooses Daniel to be a chief ruler in his kingdom. Hold on, sorry. I'm sorry for all the noise. He likes Daniel very much because Daniel is so kind and wise. Darius chooses Daniel to be a chief ruler in his kingdom. This makes other men in the kingdom jealous of Daniel. So this is what they do. They go to Darius and say, "We have agreed, O king, that you should make a law saying that for 30 days no one should pray to any god or man except to you, O king. If anyone disobeys, then he should be thrown in with the lions." Darius does not know why these men want this law made, but he thinks it is a good idea. So he puts the law into writing. Now the law cannot be changed. When Daniel learns about the law, he goes home and prays, just as he always has done. The bad men knew that Daniel would not stop praying to Jehovah. They are not happy because it seems that their plan to get rid of Jehovah, they are happy because it seems that their plan to get rid of Daniel was working. When King Darius learns why these men wanted to make this law, He is very sorry, but he cannot change the law. So he has to give the command for Daniel to be thrown into the lion's pit. Well, he's the king. He could do, whatever. He can reverse laws and stuff. No, okay, maybe I was gonna say nothing's set in stone, but he obviously probably wrote it in stone or something like that. But like even then, if he really likes Daniel, he wouldn't have done that. He should have been just like, oh, I got tricked by these fucking fools and I should execute them. I mean, he sounded like a cool king until like then. That is true. That is absolutely true. All right. But he cannot change the law, so he has to give the command for Daniel to be thrown into the lion's pit. But the king tells Daniel, sorry, I need to get my chapstick on. My cat is still being really cute. Alright. But the king tells Daniel, I hope that your God, whomever you serve, whom you, I hope that your God, whom you serve, will save you. Darius is so upset that Darius is so upset he can't sleep at night. The next morning, he runs to the lion's pit. You can see him there. He cries out. He cries out, Daniel, servant of the living God, was the God whom you serve able to save you from the lions? God sent his angel, Daniel answers, and shut the mouths of the lions so that they did not hurt me. Uh, the king is very glad. He commands that Daniel be lifted out of the pit. Then he has the bad men who try to get rid of Daniel thrown into the lions. Okay, there we go. We got a resolution. Yeah, he commands that Daniel be lifted out of the pit. Then he has the bad men who try to get rid of Daniel thrown to the lions. Even before they reach the bottom of the pit, the lions grab them and break all their bones. Man, they don't have strong bones then. Um, then King Darius writes to all the people in his kingdom, I command that everyone should respect Daniel's God. He does great miracles. Yeah, you gotta drink more milk. That's right. Um, then King Darius writes to all the people in his kingdom, I command that everyone should respect Daniel's God. He does great miracles. He saved Daniel from being eaten by the lions. Alright, that's the end of that. Chapter 80. God's people leave Babylon. Nearly 2 years have passed since Babylon was captured by the Medes and the Persians. And look what is happening now. Yes, the Israelites are leaving Babylon. How did they get free? Who let them go? Cyrus, the king of Persia, did. Long before Cyrus was born, Jehovah had his prophet Isaiah write about him. You will do just what I want you to do. The gates will be left open for you to capture the city. And Cyrus did take the lead in capturing Babylon. The Medes and the Persians came into the city at night through gates that had been left open. But Jehovah's prophet Isaiah also said that Cyrus would give the command for Jerusalem and its temple to be built again. Did Cyrus give this command? Yes, he did. This is what Cyrus tells the Israelites. Go now to Jerusalem and build the temple of Jehovah your God. Go now to Jerusalem and build the temple of Jehovah your God. And this is just what the Israelites are on their way to do. But not all Israelites in Babylon can make the long trip back to Jerusalem. It is a long trip, about 500 miles, 800 kilometers, and many are too old or too sick to travel so far. So there are other reasons why some people don't go. But Cyrus tells those that don't go, give silver and gold and other gifts to the people who are going back to build Jerusalem and its temple. So many gifts are given to these Israelites who are on their way to Jerusalem. Also, Cyrus gives them the bowls and cups that King Nebuchadnezzar had taken from Jehovah's temple when he destroyed Jerusalem. And the people have a lot of things to carry back with them. After about 4 months of traveling, the Israelites get back to Jerusalem right on time. It is just 70 years since the city was destroyed and the land was left completely empty of people. But though the Israelites are back in their own country, they will have some hard times, as we will learn next. All right, chapter 81. Trusting in God's help. Many thousands of people make the long trip to Babylon to Jerusalem. When they arrive, Jerusalem is just a big ruin. Nobody lives there. The Israelites have to rebuild everything all over again. One of the first things that they build is an altar. This is a place where they can make animal offerings or gifts to Jehovah. A few months later, the Israelites begin building the temple, but enemies living in the lands nearby don't want the Israelites to build it, so they try to frighten them to make them stop. Finally, these enemies get the new king of Persia to make a law to stop the building work. Years pass. Now it has been 17 years since the Israelites came back from Babylon. Jehovah sends his prophet Haggai and Zechariah to tell the people to start building again. The people trust in God's help and they obey the prophets. They start to build again, and even though Allah says they are not to do it. Sorry. Here we go. Where was I? So, yeah, they start to rebuild again, even though Allah says that they are not to do it. So, a Persian official named Tatenai, that's the name, Tatenai. I'm like trying to figure out how I want to pronounce this. Tatenai. Tatenai is fine. So, a Persian official named Tatenai. Now I feel like I'm just fucking it up. Oh shit, I need to charge my computer. Because it's gonna die. Hold on. There we go. Where was I? Yeah, so a Persian official named Tatenai comes and asks the Israelites what right they have to build the temple. The Israelites tell them that they were in Babylon. King Cyrus told them, "Go now to Jerusalem and build the temple of Jehovah, your God." Tatenai sends a letter to Babylon and asks if Cyrus, who is now dead, really said that. Soon, a letter from the new king of Persia comes back. It tells that Cyrus really said it. And so the king writes, "Let the Israelites build the temple of their God, and I command you to help them." In about 4 years, the temple was finished, and the Israelites were very happy. Damn. That's like big. Good on them. Anyway, many more years pass. It is now almost 40 years since the temple was finished. The people in Jerusalem are poor, and the city and God's temple do not look very pretty. Back in Babylon, the Israelite Urza, no, Ezra, not Urza. I was saying it wrong. Oops. Ezra. There we go. Back in Babylon, the Israelite Ezra um, learns about the need to fix up God's temple. So do you know what he does? Ezra goes to see Artaxerxes. 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 I'm gonna look that one up too, because I want to get it right. Let's see. Artaxerxes. Artaxerxes. No, that's not what I said. Artaxerxes. Pronunciate. Fuck you. Come on. Pronunciation. Artaxerxes. 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 Okay. Okay. Yeah, I kind of got it right. Urza goes to see Artaxerxes, the king of Persia, and this good king gives Ezra many gifts to take back to Jerusalem. Ezra asks the Israelites in Babylon to help him carry these gifts to Jerusalem. About 6,000 people say that they will go. Hold on, sorry, I got like a notification, whatever. Hold on. Okay. Yeah. Ezra goes to Artaxerxes, the king of Persia, and this good king gives Ezra many gifts to take back to Jerusalem. Ezra asks the Israelites in Babylon to help him carry these gifts to Jerusalem. About 6,000 people say they will go. They have a lot of silver and gold and other precious things to carry with them. Ezra is worried because there are bad men along the way. These men might take away their silver and gold and kill them. So Ezra calls the people together, as you can see in the picture. Then they pray to Jehovah to protect them on their long trip back to Jerusalem. Jehovah does protect them, and after 4 months of traveling, they arrive safely in Jerusalem. Doesn't this show that Jehovah can protect those who trust in him for help? I mean, trust is a two-way street. If we trust him, does he trust us? I am not sure. Oh shit, we have two more chapters left. Yeah, this is really short. Alright. Oh my god. Okay, chapter 82. I was gonna say Mordecai and Rigby. No, it's Mordecai and Esther. But I read Mordecai and just like, oh, Rigby. Okay, yeah, chapter 82. Mordecai and Esther. Let's go back a few years before Ezra went to Jerusalem. Mordecai and Esther are the most important Israelites in the kingdom of Persia. Esther is the queen, and her cousin Mordecai is second only to the king in power. Let's see how this came about. Esther's parents died when she was very small, and so Mordecai has raised her. Um, Ahasuerus. Hold on, I need to pronounce that one too, because that's a weird one. Ahasuerus? Pronunciation. Ahasuerus. I am just gonna. There we go. Skip. Ahasuerus. Okay. Ahasuerus, the king of Persia, was the Ahasuerus, the king of Persia, has a palace in the city of Shushan, and Mordecai is one of his servants. Well, one day the king's wife, Vashti, does not obey him. So the king chooses a new wife to be his queen. I wonder what obey means. Like, she didn't want to have sex with him? I'm pretty sure that's what it was. And he's just like, fuck that, I'm gonna get me a new bitch. So then, yeah. It's so fucked up. Alright. So, well, one day the king's wife, Vashti, does not obey him, so the king chooses a new wife to be his queen. Do you know the woman he chooses? Yes, beautiful young Esther. Do you see this proud man that people are bowing down to? This is Haman. He's a very important man in Persia. Haman wants Mordecai, whom you can see sitting here, to bow down to him also, but Mordecai won't do it. He doesn't think it is right to bow down to such a bad man. This makes Haman very angry. So this is what he does. Haman tells the king lies about the Israelites. They are bad people who don't obey your laws. He says. They should be put to death. Ahasuerus does not know that his wife Esther is an Israelite. So he listens to Haman, and he has a law made that on a certain day, all Israelites are to be killed. When Mordecai hears about the law, he is very upset. He sends a message to Esther. You must tell the king and beg him to save us. It is against the law in Persia to go see the king unless you're invited. But Esther goes in without being invited. The king holds out his gold rod to her. The king holds out his gold rod to her, which means that she is not to be killed. Esther invites the king and Haman to a big meal. There, the king asks Esther what favor she wants from him. Esther says that she will tell him if he and Haman will come to another meal the next day. Hold on, I need to read it again. Okay, yeah. At that meal, Esther tells the king, my people and I are to be killed. The king is angry. Who dares do such a thing? He asks. The man, the enemy, is this bad Haman. Esther says. Now, the king is very angry. He commands that Haman be killed. Afterward, the king makes Mordecai second in power only to himself. Mordecai then sees to it that a new law is made to allow Israelites to fight for their lives on the day they are supposed to be killed. Why not just, have... That's so stupid. Can't he just reverse the law or something for the Israelites to be killed and not, have a new law saying they should be able to fight? It's okay. We'll see how this goes. They're still gonna try and kill them, but at least they can... No, no, you look like a weed. True. Okay. Yeah. Mordecai then sees to it that a new law is made that allows the Israelites to fight for their lives on the day they're supposed to be killed. Because Mordecai is such an important man now. Many people help the Israelites, and they're saved from their enemies. All right, the last chapter. All right, chapter 83, the walls of Jerusalem. Look at all the work going on here. The Israelites are busy building the walls of Jerusalem. When King Nebuchadnezzar destroyed Jerusalem 102 in 102 not 102 152 years before. Actually, no more genocide. What a nerd. Can't even look at this shit. Oh, Jews. Yep, exactly. Alright. The Israelites are busy building the walls of Jerusalem. When King Nebuchadnezzar destroyed Jerusalem 152 years before, he knocked down the walls and burned the city's gates. The Israelites did not build the walls again when they first came home from Babylon. Well, they should have done that. How do you think the people have felt living here all these years without walls around their city? They have not felt safe. Their enemies could easily come in and attack. But now this man, Nehemiah is finally helping the people to build the walls again. Do you know who Nehemiah is? Nehemiah is an Israelite who comes from the city of Shushan, where Mordecai and Esther live. Nehemiah worked in the king's palace, so he may have been a good friend of Mordecai and Queen Esther. But the Bible does not say that Nehemiah worked for Esther's husband, King Ahasuerus. Um, he worked for the next king, King Artaxerxes. Remember, Artaxerxes is the good king who gave Ezra all that money to take back to Jerusalem to fix up Jehovah's temple. But Ezra did not build the broken down walls of the city. Let's see how it came about that Nehemiah did this work. It had been 12 years since Artaxerxes gave Ezra the money to fix up the temple. Nehemiah is now the chief cupbearer of King Artaxerxes. This means that he serves the king his wine, and makes sure that no one tries to poison the king. That is a very important job. Well, one day, Nehemiah's brother Hanani, Hanani and other men from the land of Israel come to visit Nehemiah. They tell him about the trouble the Israelites are having and how the walls of Jerusalem are still broken. This makes Nehemiah very sad, and he prays to Jehovah about it. One day, the king notices that Nehemiah is sad and asks, "Why are you looking so sad?" Nehemiah tells him that it is because Jerusalem is in such a bad condition and the walls are broken down. "Is it that you want?" the king asks. "Let me go to Jerusalem," Nehemiah says, "so that I may rebuild the walls." King Artaxerxes is very kind. He says that Nehemiah may go, and he helps him to get wood for doing some of the building. Soon after Nehemiah comes to Jerusalem, he tells the people about his plans. They like the idea and say, "Let's start building." When the enemies of the Israelites see the wall going up, they say, "We will go up and kill them and stop the building work." But Nehemiah hears about this, and he gives the workers swords and spears. And he says, "Don't be afraid of our enemies. Fight for your brothers, for your children, for your wives, and for your homes." The people are very brave. They keep their weapons ready day and night, and they keep building. So in just 52 days, the walls are finished. Now the people can feel safe inside the city. Nehemiah and Ezra teach the people God's law, and the people are happy. But things are not the same as they were before the Israelites were taken as prisoners to Babylon. The people are ruled by the king of Persia, and they must serve him. But Jehovah has promised that he will send a new king, and that this king will bring peace to the earth. Who is this king? How will he bring peace to the earth? About 450 years pass before any more is learned about this. Then there is a most important birth of a baby, but that is another story. All right, and that's the end of part 5. Part 6 is about Jesus, and we'll learn about him later. But thank you so much for listening. Thank you. Bye bye.